What's good, fam? I hope all is well. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Just want to show y'all my fit real quick. Adidas dress my husband bought me last year. No, that's not a sticker. That's how the dress came. My Adidas fitted. My Sambas, my Adidas socks. My little jewelry that I sell. Well, I used to sell. And my little hoops. My little chain, you know. I hope everyone's good. Before I decided to make a video today, I'm on my phone personally. Just looking, scrolling, minding my business. And I get a ding, like just a message, and it's from H&M. So I'm like, what H&M want? Like I told y'all before, I really don't buy much from H&M, but I do like to know what's the latest, what's in style, and I don't want to fall off at my rightful age. But I was blown away. Like I was blown away. I made a video few videos back that I had went to the outlets, and I went to an H&M outlet because I was looking for t-shirts but couldn't find them. Couldn't find the particular one that I was looking for. I was really looking for the men's box t-shirts, but they wasn't what I thought they were. So I ended up walking through the store and realized that H&M has H&M sells shoes. So I'm like, let me see what that's about. Anyway, so I go over there, look at the shoes, and I'm like, oh, the shoes were really, really cheap. They were like basically giving their shoes away compared to the original price, right? So now, I bought, how many pairs did I buy? I bought me 4 and bought my daughter a pair. So I bought 5 pairs. And they just like little ballerina flats, right? So I was on this pair here. Can you see it? And I did share the original price with y'all when I did do the video. And so what's crazy is now in the H&M store and not the outlet, they are actually charging the original price when these joints was like basically on clearance in the outlet. So which is weird. Okay, so y'all saw that one, right? Y'all see that one clearly? The cranberry ones. So these are the cranberry ones, right? And you see how much I paid for them? $6.99. $6.99. I got a black pair too. $6.99. And H&M is charging, oh God, sorry. H&M is charging, what is it? H&M is charging the original price, $39.99. $39.99. I got another pair, which was the animal print. These were $12.99, but I didn't see these online. I don't know if these were sold out, but these were $12.99. I guess because they were animal print, but they're regular price too. These are regular price too, which was $29.99. So these were almost half off, right? But they on H&M, they're the original price. These as well. I paid $10 for these. And these are the original price in H&M as well. $29.99. So, ladies, I'm always telling in my little videos, in my little hauls, you can look fly. It's not all about the name brand ish. As long as it's not looking cheap, like, I think I'm not judging anybody. How you shop is how you shop. But I don't go below Marshalls and TJ Maxx really do a Ross unless I'm looking for something just to put into the house that's a little cheaper than TJ or Marshalls. But other than that, I really don't go any further than TJ Maxx or Marshalls, right? I don't go too under there. But it's really crazy how they are able to flip-flop with their prices, and that's legal. It's scary. This is why, I try to do a little soul searching before I go shopping, especially like in Macy's. Like, a lot of women don't like Macy's, but I became obsessed with shopping in Macy's on 34th Street in New York. I could be in that department store for 3-4 hours without batting an eye. Literally, I've always come out with bags on bags, and I will sit there and I will shop and I will go through racks and compare prices, bring my phone and be like, they be sick of me when I get to that register, because I'm like, okay, so you saying this is online, but in the store is this. Are you gonna, comp me for the price that I'm seeing online? And usually they do. They don't give the customer a hard way to go when you're comparing prices within their store. Right? So, ladies, let's stop giving away our money if we don't have to. Let's try to compare prices. I know that I had purchased those shoes from an outlet, but if you think about going to H&M and possibly picking up a ballerina flat, just compare the prices. $6.99, $9.99 is a whole lot better than spending $39.99, $29.99. I pay $6.99 all day, and they're plastic shoes, but they have a hard bottom. That's what made me get them, because the bottom wasn't like that soft cushiony plastic under the bottom. So it was kind of like a little hard bottom. So I'm like, okay, they'll give because I have flat feet, so I need something firm underneath my foot. But yeah, try to do a little comparison before you hit the stores. I mean, if you live in an area where you have outlets, try the outlets before you go into the store itself, because sometimes store products is sometimes in outlets as well. My husband was in Adidas, and he saw a pair of sneakers that he might have, I think he paid maybe $100 for, and then the same sneaker was in the outlet for like $60. So, sometimes it's like, if you go into Nike, go to the outlet first, because the sneaker you may want or the sweatsuit you may want may be half price. And I found that out too. I told my husband I wanted a gray Nike sweatsuit. He was like, let's go to the outlet first before you give Nike, the original Nike, all your money. So that's what I did. And I got a whole Nike thick sweatsuit for like $55, $65, when each piece was like $65. So that's what we do. I own a lot of clothes, and like I said, sometimes I wore those shoes, one pair, the black ones, with a little green outfit that I had. Didn't really have them on long, but they're very comfortable. Don't get me wrong, those ballet flats from H&M are very, very comfortable. I have no complaints, and I had them on for a few hours, and I had no complaints. But yeah, let's be cautious on how we spend our money. You know what I mean? Because, it may take a little bit time, but it's the time you take. You can look it up while you're sitting on the toilet. You know what I mean? Or if you're in the area, let me go check and see what H&M got these shoes, if they on sale. And, let me see if the regular H&M got them, and, make a comparison, right? But anyway, I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. Today is Tuesday. We had unexpected company that came and stayed with us for the weekend. One of, my husband's closest close friends is not really doing too well. I don't want to get into his health because it's really nobody's business. But you know, they all came down. All of the friends and family from BK came down and visited and checked on him and just giving him support and letting him know that your family and friends is here for you. You know, we're not giving up on you. We talking to God. We praying for you. You know, we praying everything works out. Okay, so I'm gonna give you I just want to talk about, you know, I've been having little segments about my family, right? And I want to talk about a couple of things that my stepsister kind of was disrespectful about, and she put it off like it was nothing. And from there, I was, you know, really adamant about her coming around me and my husband. And you know, she traveled. She was a work traveler. She traveled, she worked, and every time she had a conference or whatever in New York, she would come and stay at my house, right? And you know, she loved my kids. She loved my kids. I'm not even gonna lie. Every time she came, she brought gifts, birthdays. This is the one who was always ratting me out. This is the one who's always telling my father what I'm doing in my house, right? But you know, sometimes I'm an Aquarius, and usually that water sign usually tolerates a lot before they spaz out. And when they spaz out, they kind of warn you before it's going to happen. And if you don't hear me, it's the outcome is not going to be good, right? So she came to our house on a business trip. She always said, and my father lived like maybe a mile, maybe 2 miles, if that much, away from where I had lived at the time. And she never wanted to go over there. Never. She always talked about how nasty his bathroom is, how his shower curtain was always dirty. He never changed his shower curtain. It had like, I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but like his shower used to clog up. So when he's taking a shower, the tub would fill up. And so when he's finished out the shower and the water's draining down, you know, the dirt from him gets on the shower curtain and kind of stays on the bottom of the curtain. So, you know, my sister was like, I don't like going over there. You know, his bathroom is always dirty. He never wash out his toilet, this, that, and the third. And she was like, Jarena, you know, you the only person who keeps your house clean. I don't have to worry about this, that. You know, when I'm coming over, you know, everything is always spotless. And anyway, so this was one day we all were getting ready to go out. So, you know, I'm getting my kids ready. They were small at the time. And I'm getting my kids ready. They had just got out the shower or whatever. And I'm oiling them up, getting them together. And my husband's in the room getting together. Like, we all are bathed except for her. Everybody's bathed and figuring out what we're going to wear, whatever. So she comes out the shower. Now, mind you, we had a 3-bedroom apartment. But my daughter and son's room was very, very small. They had like enough room in their bedroom for like a dresser and a nightstand. A dresser, their twin size bed, and maybe my daughter had a big toy chest in her room, and then on her wall she had shelves with all her little Barbie dolls and stuff on it. So it was enough room to do what you have to do in there. But the kids came outside the room, like in the we had a big dining area. I couldn't understand how that apartment was made, but it was so weird because the bedrooms were very small, but the kitchen was big and the living room was small. It was weird. So we all was getting dressed, and she was the last one to go in the shower. And you know, you as a woman, or me as a woman, you know, if I know your man is in the house, I'm going to even though I might be sweating bullets, but I'm going to come out dressed out of respect for my sister's husband or boyfriend or whatever the case may be. But that wasn't her. And at the time, we both were full-figured women. We were busty, and, you know, she was more bustier than me. She had a flat ass, but she was very busty. And I think that's what attracted men to her. She just was very busty, right? So she comes out the shower. Now, when you come out the shower, you just come around and walk through the living room, which she was sleeping in. And my bedroom was right there, right? So she comes out the bathroom in just a towel. Just a towel. And so by this time, I'm in my room. I don't know if I was in there talking to my husband, trying to figure something out. I don't remember. But when I did come out the room, and she's lotioning herself up. But she's holding the towel and lotioning one leg. She hold the towel and lotion the other leg. All these boobs is coming out the towel and all kind of stuff, right? So I said to her, I'm not even going to say her name. You can't walk around my house like that. My husband and son is in here. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect. You do. You do. Because you're a grimy bitch. You do. You know? And she didn't like what I said. And I'm in my own house. And she didn't like what I said. That whole day, she had an attitude with me. Because I told her, I don't want you walking around with a towel on in front of my kid, my boy child, and my husband. I feel some kind of way about that. I don't mean any harm. I don't mean any disrespect. You're looking for a reaction from my husband so you can take back to Gerald. So now you can create a narrative. So as a woman to woman, I'm telling you, I don't want you walking around my house like that. And the tension was there for the whole rest of the weekend because I put this bitch in her place. That's crazy, right? You in my house. I'm going to tell you another story about her dude. So one Thanksgiving, we all going to my grandmother's house for Thanksgiving. We all decided to get in her car because it was a lot bigger. So my husband's on one end, our two kids is in the back, and I'm on the other end. So it's 4 people in the back. Her and her dude, at the time was her fiance, was in the front. So, you know, we driving to the Bronx, you know, and I'm minding my business. Phones wasn't really phoning back then. So you either listening to the music, you take a nap, whatever. So I dozed off, right? So, you know, I'm in the back, my husband's on the side. So if her dude was to look in the rear mirror, he could only see me the way he had it positioned, right? So I'm dozing off, and I happen to, you know, snap up out of it, and I'm looking straight ahead, and he's looking at me in his rear mirror, and my sister's right next to him. My stepsister is right next to him, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, really? I don't like to feel uncomfortable. I don't like nobody to make me feel uncomfortable. Because once you do that, I have a problem with you. I have a problem with you. And he was actually her sister, the one that's under her child's godfather. I said, you know, me, I don't play these games. I don't play. I don't play. I don't want you. I've heard some unchoice things about this man. As grown as he was wetting the bed. I said I knew it was something disgusting about him. As grown as he was wetting the bed. And my sister, stepsister, never said nothing until they broke up. So you come in our face and you act like your relationship is peaches and cream. And then when y'all break up, you telling all his business. But you tolerated that shit, that childish shit for so many years. Because now that made me think that you trying to compare your shit with my shit? Or you trying to hold on to a man because I'm effortlessly just loving on my husband. We living our lives and raising our kids. And she wanted that life. And she was trying so hard to hold on to a man that wasn't shit. And I didn't say nothing that day, but that following week or so, I had called her mother. And I told her mother what happened. You know why? Because you always running and telling on me. You see what I'm saying? Since we were children, you was always running and telling on me. So that was my get back. So I'm going to tell your mother, because I know you and your mother gossip like two old women. Two old women. So I knew she was going to tell you that. I knew it was going to get back. I don't care how much you was coming to my house on the weekend. I didn't care. And I was so curious to see if she was going to come back and confront me about it. But she never did. She never said nothing. And I know for a fact her mother said something. You know? But amongst other things, like I said, you guys, you know, family is just a word. Family is just a word, you know, and my husband and my children and my grandchildren and their significant others is my family. Nobody else is that. Nobody else. Father, grandmother, aunts, uncles, nobody. I'm not submissive. You can ask my husband. I don't bow down and get on my knees for nobody. Never have, never will. It's just a G thing, you know. I've tolerated a lot as a child, a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect, a lot of just tolerating BS when you don't have to. And so now at this rightful age, this age I'm in right now, this body I'm in, I ain't doing it. And that even goes with my husband's side of the family. We learned a lot about these mojos. You know, and being that my husband was the youngest, he was oblivious to a lot of things because he was the youngest, you know. And so he's going through the same thing I'm kind of going through, but I'm the oldest of everybody, cousins and brothers and sisters. I'm the oldest. He's the youngest out of all his brothers and dead sister, you know. But family ain't ish. And I'm gonna keep this video short because I had said that I would keep this one short because all the other videos were like almost an hour. So I was gonna try to keep it close to 30 minutes. But that's what I wanted to share real quick. Until the next story, I will sit down. I have to sit down and get my words right because I want to talk. I don't want it to be anger. And, you know, I have a lot of anger and a lot of resentment towards my family. And so I don't want it to come from a place of anger. You know, and sometimes I come off really, you know, raw. and real rugged, and I don't want to be that. So before I speak, I have to think about the things that I'm about to say to you guys. I don't really care if they hear or see it, because it's the truth. It's the truth. Another quick betrayal was my stepsister, the next to the youngest one, the one who's under me, that's under her, right? And she lives in, let's say, upstate New York, right? And she had called me and told me she was coming down. She wanted to stop by and see her niece and nephew, and just to see me and just kick it for a little bit to see how we were doing. And so I said, sure. But she was like, I'm at our father's house. I'm driving down from our father's house, and when I reach Jersey, I'm gonna call you and let you know that I'm nearby. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I'm here. I made cupcakes for her daughter. She had one child at the time. She's got 3 now. She had one child at the time. So I was like, let me make some cupcakes for my niece, make sure I got some ice cream, make her have, little things like that. So when she came, we was talking, laughing, having a good time. Her daughter my niece had some cupcakes and ice cream. The kids had cupcakes and stuff. We were just really politicking. So she was like, let me call our father and let him know that I touched down, because he was telling me to call and make sure when I get, to my destination. Now, she's not saying, to call when you get to Jarena house, or to call when you get to Jersey, because she didn't tell him honestly where she was going. She told him that she was going to her friend's house, right? So when she get to my house, she calls him from her cell phone, and she's like, hey Dad, I'm at my friend's house. Just want to let you know that we got there safe. So when she said, I'm at my friend's house, I'm looking around like, what friend's house is she at? So now everybody knows I don't mess with my father. Everybody knows I hate this nigga's guts. Everybody knows that I just, I got some unchoice words for him, right? So for her to tell him that you're at your friend's house and saying, instead of saying that you're at Jarena's house, I look at you crazy. I look at you crazy. You're not a woman to me. You're not a woman to me. You're still afraid of this man? This fucking punk? You're still afraid of him? You're not woman enough to say, I stopped over Jarena house to go see her and the kids. You're not woman enough to say that. But you'll tell him, I'm at a friend's house. I made it to my friend's house safe. And then rush and gets right off the phone. That's crazy. You mean to tell me you're not woman enough to say, I'm over Jarena house because you scared of his reaction? Does he pay your bills? Because you're sickly too. Does he make sure you have good coverage? Do he make sure your kids is fed? You got gas in your car? Because I remember him taking the car from you because you was behind one car payment. He flew to where you was and took your car from you because you was one payment behind. And that's the man you're loyal to? That's not loyalty. He's mind fucking all of y'all. And it just only seems like I was the only one who was smart enough to gracefully bow out. To gracefully bow. Woman enough to gracefully bow out. I never asked my father for a dime. A dime that he's given me. randomly, never put no money in his grandkids' hands, never did nothing for us. Not even a congratulations when I gave birth to my first child, his first grandchild. Never. Never. So what do you owe him? He used to beat and curse you out because your newborn child was crying. A newborn baby crying. And he used to curse you out because he wasn't getting no sleep because your newborn baby was crying. But you owed him that? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. That would never be me in a million years. In a million years. I tell you, I'm not submitting to no man. I'm not. And he's taught me not to do that. He's not worthy of that. You know, he's not. He's just not. He's just not. Okay? Ladies, gentlemen, I hope you guys all had an amazing evening. Have an amazing evening. I got a taste for, I have a chocolate chip ice cream sandwich, ice cream cookie sandwich in the freezer. I'm dying for it. I shouldn't eat it, but I want it so bad. I did good. I only ate once today. And it's now 4:23. So I'm doing good. I'm going to eat that ice cream sandwich and I'm going to be one and done with it. Like I said, please be safe. Be smart. Stay out of trouble. You get into beef with anybody, be the bigger person and walk away. You know why? Because we want to be here to see tomorrow, right? So I'm praying for our sick friend. I'm praying for his wife. I'm praying for his children. And I hope all gets well. All right? Everybody be blessed. Have an amazing day and peace.